Now this next step is a bit more involved. I'm going to show you how you can create what are called filters. Filters are like rules in first class that are automatic ways to make things happen. So for example, I get a whole bunch of emails from YouTube. I publish a lot of videos to YouTube, and it sends me an email every single time I publish a video and tells me congratulations, my video has been published. All right, they clutter up my inbox. So what I want to happen is I want these videos to go away. I don't want them filling up my inbox, but I don't want to throw them away necessarily just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create what's called a filter. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up one of these messages. I need to find out who these messages are coming from. And in my case, these are coming from noreply@youtube.com. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that email address. So now what I want to do is I'm going to click on my gear, and I'm going to go to my settings. And in my settings, I can control a lot of different things up here at the top. There's an option for filters and blocked addresses. So if I go to filters and blocked addresses, I want to create a new filter. So the first step is it asks who is the message I want from. So I'm going to go ahead and paste the email address that I had taken in there. And I could look for other words. It doesn't have to be an email. I could look for different requirements as well. But I'm going to go ahead and hit create a filter. And now once I create this filter, now I get to choose what happens to it. And in this case, I'm going to make three things happen. Number one, I want this message to be read automatically. I don't want to have to go and read these messages. I know what they say. I don't need to see them. The second thing I want is I want these messages to skip the inbox. I don't want them just to show up in my or to move them into a or label them or tag them. I want them to actually skip my inbox altogether. The third thing I need to happen is I want to apply a label to these messages. So I want to put them in a label over here marked YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a label, but I don't currently have a YouTube label just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new label, and I'm just going to call it YouTube, and hit create. So there's my YouTube label. So I have told it to skip the inbox, mark it as read, and apply it to the YouTube label over here on the side. The last thing I want to do is I need to check the box that says apply this filter to the 14 messages that it found in my mailbox. Otherwise, it'll only do it with future messages. So as long as I check that box, it'll do anything currently in my mailbox and anything in the future. So I hit create filter. And now if I click on my YouTube folder, I should see all 14 of those messages, and any future message from YouTube should automatically go to that box. I check my inbox, all my YouTube messages are gone. The other way I can help kind of sort out my mailbox a little bit is to use what they call tabs. Tabs are kind of preset things automatically set up in order to organize messages automatically without having to manually create filters. And so I can either hit these little plus signs to add tabs, or I can click on my gear again and configure my inbox. And everyone gets a primary tab. That's your main tab where all your messages go. But there are separate tabs. There's one for social, which includes a lot of your social networking sites. One's for promotions, which are going to try to find coupons and deal emails. There's one for updates, where you're going to get anytime it's telling you something has been updated, you're going to get a message. Or one for forums, which is any kind of a group or discussion board. So if you are a participant in any kind of a one of our groups, so like your building folders like the Holman folder or Shop and Swap or any other groups from groups.google.com that you belong to, most of those, if not all of those messages are automatically going to get filtered to it. So I like to go ahead and turn on forums, and I can go ahead and maybe turn on promotions as well, and then hit save. And then what that's going to do is that adds these tabs up here at the top. And when I click on it, it will show me any message that meets these requirements. So you don't have to do anything for these. These are just automatic. It's just another way to help kind of use filters, except automatic versions of it, by using what they call tabs. If you change your mind and you don't like them, you just go back to configure your mailbox, and you can simply uncheck the box. They will go away, and your messages are still safe.